Welcome to the world of soap making. Gone are the days of rendering soap from kitchen drippings, making lye with fireplace ashes, and stirring suds over an open fire. And thank goodness, those often resulted in soap that was so harsh it burned the skin. Today, soap making is a creative, safe, and practical hobby. However, you must be patient and follow directions to produce a successful and wonderful homemade soap. In the next 8 modules, this e-learning course will take you step by step through the process of making a basic homemade soap. This will include instructional pages, photos, and video to help you along, and yes, a final assessment quiz to help you maintain information. Beginning with an introduction and overview, then onward to the next set of modules that will show you what equipment and supplies you need, how to render your tallow, then actually making your homemade soap. The last module will show you how to wrap and display your new soap. And finally, you'll receive a certificate of completion that will certify you as an official homemade soap maker. Let's get going! In this module, you will learn what equipment and supplies you will need to make a successful batch of homemade soap. The one item you may be challenged to obtain is sodium hydroxide, lye. It isn't widely available like it used to be. In this module, you will find the names and links to 2 online sites where you can order lye, or you can try to find it in your local area at chemical supply outfits. This module is your first and major step into becoming a soap maker. Once you have these pieces of equipment and supplies, you won't need to get them again, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions. Keep it all in a big box labeled soap making stuff, and you'll always be ready to get soaping. Okay, now let's get the stuff. The first stage of the soap making process is rendering. Beef fat is melted in water to separate out any impurities. The purified fat that remains is called tallow. Rendering isn't the most pleasant part of soap making. It is messy, and the odors associated with it can be downright nasty. Remember the photos of women stirring a big pot outside? Probably wasn't witch's brew. Most likely they were rendering tallow outside. It is that bad. The task can be done in the house, but during mild weather so the doors and windows can be open. Unless you purchase tallow, this step is unavoidable. Suggestion: obtain large amounts of beef fat, then do all of your rendering at the same time, so you'll always have tallow available. The most difficult part of making homemade soap is probably rendering the tallow. However, that should not diminish the importance of this module about handling lye. If you're thinking you've already worked so hard and you still haven't made any soap yet, be patient. This module will teach you a new discipline. It may have been a while since you learned a new craft, so you may be feeling some rebelliousness, wanting to get on with it already. Everything seems so foreign now, but by the time you've made your 3rd batch of soap and what you need to know, you won't soon forget it. The rules here may seem harsh and difficult to learn, but if you follow them to the letter as you make your first soap, they will become habits and you'll gain confidence to tackle each new project safely. Believe it or not, few people know what soap really is. Several of the cleansing bars that you buy at the store and use in the shower or bath, for example, are not soap at all. They are detergents. Soaps, as you have already learned, are made by combining lye, animal fats, and/or vegetable oils and water. Detergents, on the other hand, contain petroleum distillates. You're there! Now in the steps of this module, you will begin with one of the many basic soap recipes. All of the basic soap recipes will start the same. Hot lye and melted fats and/or oils are brought to equal temperatures, mixed together, poured into a primary mold, and cured. 19th century soap is an old-fashioned soap that is very mild. Its characteristics are clean white or slightly off-white in color, lathers well with small creamy bubbles, sets up quickly and dries readily, acceptable for very fancy molds, accepts additives well, and hard when cured. Wow! It's been at least 2 weeks, and possibly even as long as 3 or 4 weeks. When you are sure that your soap has dried sufficiently and cured, it's no longer caustic, and it makes a nice handful of bubbles when you use it, you're ready to wrap it, display it, give it as gifts, or just admire it. Whether your handmade soaps are destined to be used by your own family, by friends, or by customers, you'll want every bar you made to look its best. In this module, you'll find helpful hints on storing, wrapping, and displaying the results of your soap making efforts. Congratulations! You made it. I mean really, you made soap. Remember to turn your bars every day, at least once. Mark your calendar for the day that it should be cured and ready for you to continue what you learned in the wrapping and displaying module. If you cut your own bars, or if you push them out of the mold, they are beautiful, and who cares, even if they're not? It's homemade soap. You'll get better with practice, and you cannot be encouraged enough to make soap again. I'll bet you're ready to start now.